Here is how to assemble your diagonal corner module kit. Okay, the first thing we do is lay down the bottom tubes and couplers. So we started with the corner here. We laid down a 3-way corner coupler, and we ran out our red length wall this way with red paint and a length wall that way. 3-way corner, then an EF end frame identified with blue paint, end frame on this side, and then one of our diagonal tubes here. So now you can kind of see the outline of a diagonal corner module. We'll go ahead and slip that together. So we'll go ahead and we slide these on the 3-way corner. We're just going to dry fit everything here, no screws at this moment. Just make sure everything fits nice. Just like that. Then we'll go ahead and get this corner over here, a 3-way corner. Looking good. And now we'll go ahead and screw those in. Good. See how he screws nice and close to the end here, getting the coupler. You don't want to screw out here and miss the coupler. And he used the shoe technique, so this was nice and tight up against the coupler. Okay, so now we've got it locked in on 3 corners here, and we can go ahead and insert our diagonal piece. So now we're sliding in the diagonal piece. It's a 37mm tube, and it slides right into the 40mm tubes. And you'll just slide it all the way in, and then you'll come back here and check for square with your builder square. So you can see we've taken our builder square and we positioned it over here in the side of the corner just to make sure our frame's nice and square and everything's set. So, and then we slip this in here, and now we can lock that in with screws now that we know the frame is square. If the frame wasn't square, you could have adjusted this a little bit as needed here with those 37mm tubes going in and out. But it looks like it's perfectly square here. With the new 2023 diagonal corner module, we now cut these one wing off for that special joint. This is an extra service we're providing for free this year. With ConnecTubes, you're getting a lot of free cutting and pre-cut pieces that save you a lot of time and hassle, and we're still selling you these steel tubes at wholesale prices. ConnecTubes is such an incredible value for your money, and you're getting free shipping now in the continental USA for orders over $400. So there's no reason to use studs and tracks. ConnecTubes is the winner. Okay, we can take our one-way couplers, and we can position it. Position it so it's a millimeter or so back from this edge and a millimeter back from this side. So when you slip the steel tube over, the steel tube will be flush to the outside of the frame here. And do the same with here. So we'll go ahead and we'll put a screw in through the hole and then another screw in through the field. If you need to, you can clamp this down so it doesn't move around. That might make it easier for you to screw. Okay, our professional from MC Construction has showed us how to use a clamp on this corner piece. What he did was he took the vertical tubes we haven't installed yet and made a double row here, double stack. He did a double one underneath the joint here, and he clamped it in this position so he can get a screw in on this side through the hole first, and then one through the field. And that's a safe way of doing it, and then he can also do it on the other side. Good. Okay, so now we have the one-way secured with 2 screws on each side, and everything's nice and square. And now we can go ahead and put on our vertical tubes. So now we're going ahead and we're putting on the vertical tubes. They are identified with yellow paint. They slip real easy onto these one-ways. It's so easy to assemble this ConnecTubes. You don't need a clamp. you simply just slide them right onto these couplers. And then once we have them all in place here, you can kind of see that we're getting our frame up right here in a matter of seconds. And now we can lock it in with a screw. And remember, never put a screw on the cement board side. Always put it on the inside. And when you're screwing into one-ways, always aim your screw down near the edge where it's nice and firm and the most strength. If you screw too high, you can miss the coupler, or these one-ways can bend out. So try to aim low. Now we go ahead and we insert our one-way couplers with one side in the front here. Put our three-way corners in the tops. Look at how fast this is going together here. It's just so easy. Any homeowner or contractor can do this and save a lot of time and hassle. We take our length walls with the red paint and we slip it in over the couplers. And that's starting to frame in the back. Look at how fast this is going together. And then once we have the length walls installed, we go ahead and we start putting in our end frames identified with blue paint that creates a 32-inch depth connection for whatever module is going to go on this side, and a connection for a 32-inch depth module on that side. And now we'll just slip in the last one here. And look at that. You can see how nice we have it. Now we'll secure this in with screws, and then we can move into our diagonal area. So first we screw into the coupler, and then we screw in these two. A total of 3 screws per corner. Just like that. Now we'll repeat that on the other corner over here. And also the corner over here. All 3 corners will lock in 3 screws each. Total of 9 screws, 3, 6, 9. It's very little screws needed. Here's a quick tip on the front here. Don't put a screw here through the one-way until you've slipped this into the tubes. Otherwise, this screw will block this tube from sliding it all the way. So make sure to slide this in first and then screw through here. Sometimes because you're screwing through 1, 2, 3 pieces of material, it might be a good idea to pre-drill with a drill a starter hole here before you use your screw and make it much easier. So now we're sliding this in on both ends. And then we'll go ahead and pre-drill a hole up through the 3 pieces of metal and lock it in with a screw on each side. So MC Construction was able to get the screw in through all this 2 layers without a pre-drill hole. That's going to hold this together. Now he's going to go underneath here and drill through 3 layers of steel. But honestly, it's a lot easier to use a drill. Look at that. MC Construction got it through all 3 pieces of metal with no pre-drilling. So it is possible if you're a pro. If you're a homeowner, you might want to, without not much experience, you might want to pre-drill. Fantastic. Wow, this is easy with this ConnecTubes. Wow, in under 5 minutes, we built the whole perimeter frame here. It's absolutely amazing. It's so easy with ConnecTubes, and you can see here we have our whole perimeter frame already assembled. So now we've laid out our vertical tubes. We're going to have one in the center on this length wall and one in the center on that length wall. In the 2022 kit, we used to give an extra vertical tube here and there. Those are no longer included. The reason why is we want you to be able to crawl through your island to this module and to this other module you're connecting to in case you ever have to do repairs. That's very important. You wouldn't want to have a VT here that's going to block you from climbing through. Let's say a rat chews your electrical wires, or maybe the plumber needs to get in there, or for whatever reason. So we always keep it open where it connects to another module in case you need maintenance in the future. So it's 46 inches, so the center would be at 23 inches. We make a mark and install our vertical tube here on this length wall, and 23-inch center on that wall. So with the diagonal corner module, a lot of people will put a sink here or a smoker egg, and in the front here, they'll have an access door. You have to have an access door to access the plumbing for a sink or access the soot door for your Commodore. So we have two CTs. One will go on the top here like so, nice and flush. A couple screws lock it in. One on the top here like that. Lock it in with a couple screws. And then you'll get two of these 40 by 20 millimeter steel tubes that you can use for the left and right side of your door cutout. So that's these parts there. If you don't have a door and you're just gonna have cement board here, you could just put one of these in the center to properly support cement board. We'll go ahead and clamp this one to the top and we'll lock it in with a couple screws. So for this example, we don't have an access door, so we're just putting one in the center to support cement board. He pulls back on this towards him and screws from the rear, and then he'll do the same thing. He'll pull backwards and put a screw in here. And that's all you need to secure these in. Perfect. Now that we have completed our diagonal corner module very quickly and easily with this system, we need to do something here with the countertop. The kit comes with a sink countertop kit. You're getting really a lot of steel tubes for the money here and a lot of work that we did pre-cutting all these pieces to make it easy for you. Now, we'll install the sink countertop kit here. If you don't have a sink, you still need to install this so that something's supporting the cement board on top. If you're gonna do the Commodore egg here, you would have to buy the Commodore support that would go inside here sold separately. And you'd have to assemble that, which is very easy to assemble, and it goes from the floor up to give a lot of strength for those heavy Commodores. If you're thinking about putting one of those heavy pizza ovens on top of the diagonal corner module, we recommend that you build an additional wall from the floor up to the top here, all the way across underneath your pizza oven. It would be a load-bearing wall. That would give a lot of extra vertical strength for those heavy pizza ovens that weigh over 1,000 pounds. You can also buy our extra corner bracing kits to beef up the frame here for extra strength for a pizza oven. But otherwise, this diagonal corner module is very strong to support pizza ovens under 1,000 pounds. But anything over, you really gonna have to be serious and beef up the frame. And also you have to make sure the concrete pad is built properly, that it's not going to settle from all the weight of a heavy pizza oven. So those are some things that are a little bit more advanced that you should be very careful with if you're gonna try to put a heavy pizza oven. But something like this pizza oven that we built over here that weighs under 500 pounds, that's fine. You wouldn't need anything extra other than putting our sink countertop kit for strength. Okay, we take our 41-inch tubes here and we lay them on top of the frame here. This is doing a countertop support. And then we'll take a CT and we'll go ahead and position it underneath where that would lay, where we want to mount it. And we'll mark with the marker so that we know where to screw that CT into on the right side. And then we'll do the same thing on the left side. But now we're gonna screw it in. It's really good to have one of these vice clamps when you're working on this. And now we'll repeat that. We'll screw in this other one on the right side and the two on the front. Very easy. For 2023, we have an angle L iron that's gonna go on the front instead of the CTs. CTs are in the rear and the angle iron is in the front. We used to have CTs here, but this is a new improvement for 2023 because this lays right on the edge here of the bearing wall. So this goes in, and then you put about 4 to 6 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws in here holding that. And then that's going to be the platform to hold your horizontal tubes across. This is a nice improvement to this kit, making it much easier. Now another improvement for 2023 module is we have 41-inch by 37mm tubes that are nice and flush to the top here. And those will run from the angle iron back to the CTTs that you screwed in. So we only screw from below, don't screw from the top. Later when you do your cement board screw, you can use cement board screws through the cement board into this later. And go ahead and put your screw only on the bottom coming up through here. And there we go. We've got both of the cross beams screwed in now. No screw heads are on the top for a nice flush finish to the cement board. We run the tape measure down the center here, which comes out to about 52 inches here on the inside. And then we're gonna go ahead and come out to about 36 inches and make a line. And we're going to come down to about 20 inches and make a line here. And that's just gonna be for our countertop supports going this way. Now, if you had a sink, you would use your sink cutout measurements, but we're just going to make the countertop support. Measure between the two tubes to get the size to cut this tube here. Go ahead, we insert our one-way couplers, the standard ones with 2 wings, and we go ahead and position it in here, take our clamp and clamp it to the frame, and we just go ahead and screw it in, making a nice extra support. Now you can see how you could have a sink in here and that would fit in there. So the sink or the countertop kit is very similar. There we go, we slide it into place, clamp it in, and screw it just like we did the other one. And then we'll have it all done. This was very fast and easy to assemble. With all these pre-cut parts, it must have saved us hours having all these pre-cut parts. And we only made, we made 2 cuts for these pieces only. Very little cutting on this module. You can see we've got them nice and screwed in here. Don't forget to put a screw underneath here. One under here, and one under there. Same with this piece. One under there, one under here, and the thing is completed. Look at how nice this turned out. And remember, we put one here because we're gonna have cement board, but if you had a sink, you'd want a vertical door here. I recommend a 14 by 20 vertical door would fit nice in here to access the plumbing. And you would go ahead and frame that in there. And we didn't use any VTs where we're gonna connect it to the other modules. Now let's go ahead and take a couple modules and slide them up here. Look at how nice the 32-inch straight modules slide into the diagonal corner module, making a nice L island. This is a great design because instead of having a tight 90-degree corner, this gives you a nice place that you can walk up to close and access your sink or your Commodore egg smoker. So this is very popular. The only problem is you're adding a lot of size here onto your yard. So you need a very large patio if you're going to use one of these diagonal corner modules. If you have a smaller space, you wouldn't be able to use this. And you can see these are just 4-foot modules, and look at how big this has gone. Usually people use 8-foot modules on an L island. So you need a lot of space if you're gonna use a diagonal corner module. But it's very nice if you got the space for it. It's very beautiful.